welcome to the Top of the Game podcast. Before I get into the episode, I want to share with you why I wanted to do this podcast, especially this episode.
बिजनेस की ना 3-4 रिक्वायरमेंट होती है. एक्सेस टू रीच, एक्सेस टू फाइनेंस, एक्सेस टू टेक्नोलॉजी, लास्ट वन इज एक्सेस टू टैलेंट.
So ऐसी कौन सी एडवाइस है जो आपने कभी फॉलो नहीं की?
किसी चीज से डरे नहीं है. सो जो करना है, जो मैंने पहले बोला था, करके देख लेते हैं. आई कम फ्रॉम अ टिपिकल मिडिल क्लास फैमिली. एक्सपेक्टेशंस रहती हैं, बहुत रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज रहती हैं. टिपिकल मी वाज ऑलवेज हाई एनर्जी, पैशनेट.
So at that time, 2012, what did you see what others could not spot?
In 2012, online was at a very, very infancy stage. Consumers were not even aware of mobile से क्या हो सकता है. That's where I saw huge opportunity.
There are founders who are able to travel the journey from 0 to 10 crores, but they are now chasing 50 crores. What is it that they need to do according to you?
First and foremost, they need to be absolutely hands-on.
What are few blind spots that you still see for MSME businesses?
There is a saying, whatever got you here will not get you there. अगर आप 40 लाख, 1 करोड़, 1.5 करोड़ पे पहुंच गए हो, तो आप अपनी प्रायोरिटीज क्लियर करो.
So what do you see in a founder which convinces you that this is a good person to invest?
Not many things. Driving them. Is it a genuine problem they're trying to solve?
Now this generation wants to do entrepreneurship, but the parents are not aware about how to go about it, and therefore there is a lot of confusion. So what would you like to suggest?
How can we give them hands-on experience to real life problem solving at that age? That's something we need to really look up to.
So अगर आपको Gen Z को जो प्रोफेशनली वर्क कर रहे हैं, अगर 2-3 एडवाइस देनी हो,
The biggest advice is have.
ये एक ऐसा डायलॉग है जो डीजी अक्सर रिव्यू मीटिंग में यूज करते हैं और वो एक सिग्नेचर डायलॉग है.
एक जो मैं बार बार काफी यूज करता हूँ कि मिलेंगे, डिस्कस करेंगे तो कोई ना कोई सोल्यूशन निकाल ही लेंगे. बात बनाने से ही बनती है.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Top of the Game podcast. Before I get into the episode, I want to share with you why I wanted to do this podcast, especially this episode. Today's episode is really special for me because my guest is someone I've known for last 14 years now. And during this time, I've had opportunity to work closely with him, learn from him. And honestly, even today, whenever I need any advice or a different perspective, he is one of the first people I call. Most people know him as the COO of IndiaMart, a respected business leader or an investor. But I know him as someone who has built people, not just businesses. I've seen the impact he's had on so many professionals and leaders over the years. That's exactly why I wanted to have this conversation. My hope is that through these stories, experiences, and lessons, you will get to know the person behind the title. And I'm sure professionals, founders, and young leaders will find something valuable to take away. Sir, thank you so much and welcome to this podcast. बहुत धन्यवाद आपका. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abhishek, for having me here. And this Mr. Dinesh Gulati looks so artificial coming from you. For you, I'll always be DG.
Yes. Yes.
So let's maintain that, decorum. And life comes full circle. There was I remember time when I was on the other side interviewing you, and today I'm so happy to getting interviewed by you. And thank you so much. Really happy to be here and really happy to see you doing various interventions in the field of what you always wanted to do. So really happy.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you so much. So शुरुआत करते हैं. आज मैं आपको सब लोग जानते हैं as a CEO of IndiaMart, as a successful business professional. But I want to talk about beyond LinkedIn profile and what people know in the business world. So जिंदगी की शुरुआत कहाँ से हुई सर? कहाँ से आपकी जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई?
I come from a typical middle class family. That's from where I started. Being the eldest child of a middle class family. So हमेशा से बहुत expectations रहती हैं, बहुत responsibilities रहती हैं. तो typically और हमारे टाइम पे क्या था, expectation ये थी कि हर फैमिली से एक आदमी इंजीनियर बनना चाहिए.
अच्छा.
और जो सबसे बड़ा होता है फैमिली का, उसी से सबसे बड़ी एक्सपेक्टेशन रहती है कि ये आदमी इंजीनियर बनना चाहिए. And lot of my cousins had already become engineers. So मेरे से भी यही उम्मीद थी कि ये भी इंजीनियर बनेगा. So वो पहला प्रेशर तो I remember going through that pressure point. But that's fine. I think that prepared me to get into that league.
Right.
Engineering करी मैंने. और इंजीनियरिंग करने के बाद फिर दूसरा प्रेशर था कि इंजीनियरिंग के बाद आप जल्दी से कमाई शुरू करें. So there I let my parents disappoint. बिकॉज मैंने अच्छी जॉब होने के बावजूद भी मैंने नौकरी नहीं करी. फिर मैं अपने MBA की तरफ निकल गया.
जी.
So those were typical early days, I would say. But having said that, the typical me was always, I would say, high energy, passionate, very, very inquisitive. I think these are the qualities that always stayed with me, and then till date, I'm running with these traits, these qualities. But one thing I think I would like to highlight here, as I progressed,
Right.
got multiple roles, multiple designations. I never forgot the basics.
Right.
So the basics were high energy, passion, always outgoing. So that was always me, and that's till date remains, me true to myself.
Right.
And always very, very humble, I would say. Very, very approachable, very, very reachable. That was one of the things that always had, people reaching out to me whenever they were in trouble, whenever they needed any advice, or whenever they wanted to celebrate anything. That's वो जो अपनापन होता है ना
जी.
कि ये आदमी तो हमेशा हमारे साथ है. तो वो I think was always that feeling that I can go and share things openly with DG. तो वो हमेशा से बना रहा. I was always collecting people. So whether it was during my school days, during college days, during my corporate life, आप मानेंगे नहीं, I still have मेरे जो पुराने business associates थे, Kodak के, Airtel के, उनके साथ भी आज ऐसे family relations हैं. They keep approaching till date कि मेरे को अपने बेटे को कॉलेज में करना है, कौन सा कॉलेज अच्छा है, कौन सी स्ट्रीम में एडमिशन लेना है. They have reached stage where the kids are getting married. So we're still in close touch with each other. So that's a kind of I think relation I've been always able to build up. Having said that, I was always a risk taker. So thoda sa adventurous, thoda sa risk taker in my personal life, in my professional life. I think I've been typically first attempt समझ में आ गया, so then I would go for it, and then that's how I have been in my whether personal life. I took a lot of calls, which was more because of I thought करके देखते हैं में then you taste little bit success and then you go for it. Similarly, in my professional life, lot of career related decisions I took. Those normally people would not take. But when I look back, I think most of them were right decisions that I took. And then that's where I strongly believe that करके देखते हैं, करके देख लेना चाहिए. अगर एक बार दिल में आ गई है तो करके देख लेना चाहिए. And then that's been me all through my personal life. And here I am today.
Thank you. So sir, क्या करियर में अर्ली एज करियर में क्या कुछ टर्निंग पॉइंट्स रहे जिन्होंने आगे करियर डिफाइन किया?
काफ़ी चेंजेस मैंने देखे. सो फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट, सबसे पहले तो बहुत अच्छी जॉब मिली and I actually wanted to go for it.
Right.
But then and my family wanted, being eldest son.
Right.
And we came, as I mentioned, I come from a very humble background. तो पापा को था कि कोई घर में अर्निंग मेंबर आएगा, so he'll take care of lot of things. But I went for my MBA. So I think that was something जो जैसा मैंने पहले बताया, करके देख लेना चाहिए. तो I went for MBA, and rest all is history now. But then करियर में बहुत सारे मैंने ups and downs देखे, both in terms of organizations that I worked for. I saw multiple business cycles, industry cycles, and I tried to learn from every such intervention that happened. I was working with Kodak India, which used to be the Fortune 500 company, right? And it was a job which was a sought after job. People would give anything to work for a multinational at that point in time. And I was heading one of the businesses and doing extremely well. I would go thrice a year, twice a year for international conferences, and then whatever at that one time a typical professional would want was all there with me at that, in that role, in that position, with that organization. One fine day I resigned, and then I decided to join Airtel, which used to be Bharti at that point in time. Just to let everybody know, Bharti used to be a local brand at that point in time. It was not that large an organization, that big a brand at that point in time. I'm talking about year 2000. Right? So it was a very small brand. It was only Delhi specific operations,
Right.
और it was not a listed entity.
Right.
तो वो typical जिसे कहते हैं, it was a Lala organization,
Right. Right.
Sunil Mittal's organization.
Right.
And when I broke this news at home to my father, he was shocked. He said, "You have resigned from multinational to join telecom company." तो when I said कि I'm joining Bharti, तो typical पंजाबी में की कर दे again, मतलब what do they do? And that time telecom was not a household name. So I tried to explain that it is mobile telephony और ऐसा होता है. He said, you're doing a gross mistake.
Right.
You should tomorrow only, next day, go back, apologize to your management and take back your resignation. I said, no, nothing doing. I am clear कि जो मैंने ये decision लिया, बहुत अच्छा decision लिया. I joined telecom, and for almost 7 days my father didn't speak with me because he insisted that I should take that resignation back. But rest all is history. Telecom, I think, was the best move, one of the best moves, for people at my age at that point in time. And the amount of learning I had from telecom is really what has prepared me for all the subsequent journeys, professional journeys that I could complete successfully. I would owe it to whatever I learned in telecom. So that's something very, very unique. And telecom journey, process-oriented, service industry, managing customer life cycle, going through technology, going through segments, marketing, communication, building brands, setting up network operations. The amount of learning that I got during those 11 years, I would say is unparalleled learning, and during that stint, I got multiple opportunities to work with a lot of industry bigwigs. Right. And I take pride because we were the early ones who were setting up the biggest infrastructure India has seen in this century. Right. We all, whatever we are seeing, India's growth curve has happened because of mobile telephony. Right. And it all started from 99 or year 2000. And I was one of those early ones who actually was part of building that infrastructure, learning trades, business trades, network kaise kaam karta hai, learning from international markets, doing so many studies and an amount of work that we did. And today, I think we all know, without mobile, nothing works, nothing happens. So I was part of it. And the second career move that I would say that I would like to highlight, I was a president of a media company, and president of a media company is like a dream job. You have very cushy job, and kind of you hobnob with all the industry leaders. A lot of people want to come and meet you because you being heading a media company. Again, I decided I need to move on, and I left that media company to join IndiaMart. And that time, I'm talking about year 2012. So IndiaMart was a very small organization, 125-30 crore operations, and much smaller a brand than what we are today. But the same thing, I was convinced that this is the future. यार यही करना है, करके देखते हैं. And then I joined IndiaMart, and then rest all is history. That today we are the largest marketplace for businesses trying to solve problems for millions of businesses. So I would say these are typically some of the career moves that I went through. A lot of good opportunities, I would say, but as they say, you have to be at the right place at the right time to grab that opportunity. तो वो मैं शायद था वहाँ पर, and कुछ decision ऐसे लिए that I can say that those decisions worked very well for me as well as for the entire family. Sure.
So अगर आप इस direction में नहीं गए होते, corporate पढ़ाई and all that, तो आप किस direction में जाते life में?
तो just to share with you, मैंने एक अपना business भी start किया था.
अच्छा.
हाँ. And that was year 97, 96, 97. तो मैंने उस समय पे एक बहुत ही एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी वाला कार रिपेयर सर्विस सेंटर खोला था दिल्ली में. अच्छा. एंड मेरे साथ एक पार्टनर थे मेरे, तो हम दोनों ने बिजनेस खोला, एंड हमने वो बिजनेस 1.5 साल चलाया भी. बट फॉर वट एवर रीज़न वो पार्टनर मेरे जो वो न्यूजीलैंड चले गए, और उसके बाद we decided कि ये business हमें नहीं चलाना चाहिए. So अगर आपको लगे 3-6-9 महीने में कि business नहीं ठीक हो रहा तो आपको call ले लेनी चाहिए. So but we took that call in I think 15 months. और वो business मैंने अपने किसी दूसरे friend को बेच के and I came back to corporate life. So शुरू से जो मैंने बोला risk taking था कि कुछ ना कुछ तो करना है. As again while I was in my corporate life, आज से 10 साल पहले फिर मैंने न्यूजीलैंड में जाके कुछ और बिजनेस सेटअप किया उन्हीं पार्टनर के साथ, जिनके साथ मैंने पहले किया था. बट ही इज द वन हु इज मैनेजिंग दैट बिजनेस. बट एक दिल में बहुत वो था कि बिजनेस जरूर करने हैं. सो वो आज न्यूजीलैंड में मेरी पार्टनरशिप है, वो बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, वो चला रहे हैं वहाँ पर मेरे पार्टनर. सो अगर मैं शायद कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ में नहीं आता तो ज़रूर कुछ ना कुछ और बिजनेस करता. वो क्या करता, कौन सा बिजनेस करता नहीं मालूम अभी, लेकिन आई एम श्योर आई वुड हैव गॉट इनटू सम अदर बिजनेस फॉर श्योर.
जी, आपको याद है आप और मैं पहली बार कब मिले थे? मेरे लिए ये आज आपके साथ में डिस्कशन करना, इट्स अ वेरी नॉस्टैल्जिक फीलिंग. आई वेरी क्लियरली रिमेंबर मीटिंग यू फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. डू यू रिमेंबर मीटिंग मी फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम?
मेरे को आई मे बी रॉन्ग एंड देन करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आपका रेफरेंस मुझे एक हमारे ट्रेनिंग कंपनी ने दिया था.
जी.
तो आई डोंट वांट टू नेम. तो उसी ने आपका रेफरेंस दिया था और उसी ने मीटिंग कराई थी. एंड दैट्स अ टाइम इफ आई रिमेंबर करेक्टली वी हैड मेट.
Right.
So now you can tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. I came to give you interview, and in fact, I joined and I decided, when I met you that day, I was very impressed, and I am still carrying that feeling, the kind of energy which you demonstrated, the passion and confidence that you gave me during that time, that actually stayed with me throughout. And while working with you, I experienced that risk taking that you're talking about. You allowed me as a person to take a lot of risk, and that helped me quite a lot. Yeah, absolutely. So I met you in IndiaMart's earlier office, and where I came and gave you an interview back in 2012. That was the time I first.
I remember we were trying to get, because when I joined IndiaMart, first of the few priorities for me that I identified was to train our people, because we wanted to go to our customers, our GTM, or reach our customers in a very different manner than what we were doing. So that's where I identified that we had to improve a lot of skill sets, softer skills, knowledge, behavior amongst the large team we had. And then we were looking for a lot of training partners, and we got that training partner, and who, thanks to him, he referred Abhishek Joshi to me, and rest all is history. And then yes, we liked you, and then I think the kind of training interventions we had, you being there, not only training interventions, in fact on my way I was telling that so far you rarely come across people who are ready to take more and more on their plate, and you happen to be one of them. And it was not only training that you were doing for us.
Thanks.
You went out of your way to whatever was coming your way, whether it was boot camps, whether it was doing marketing campaigns, whether it was employee communication. So you were part of everything which involved our employees, and reward and recognitions, or caring for our employees. And then you built a lot of those interventions for us. And then that's where when you came to me that I want to set up something on my own, I was so happy to hear that, and I said, okay, Abhishek, just go for it, and then I'm sure you'll do well. And
Thank you. It's been 10 years now. Absolutely. Thanks a lot. And in fact, working with you gave me that confidence. And IndiaMart as an organization is a very, very enterprising organization. So I learned the basics of entrepreneurship from you while working with IndiaMart. So I have a question in my mind. So at that time, 2012, we are talking about when internet, no one was talking much about internet. What did you, and especially in the segment, MSME segment, what did you see in this segment? What others could not spot, and how did you plan to come and scale IndiaMart to the next level?
So very, very interesting question. So in 2012, online was at a very, very infancy stage, right? Forget MSMEs. Even consumers were not even aware of, कि mobile से क्या हो सकता है. And there were multiple reasons. mobile telephony had not taken off
Right.
at that point in time.
Right.
It was primarily 2G, 4G had not happened.
Yeah.
5G तो सवाल ही नहीं उठता. So our internet speeds were not there.
Right.
So when you would go to an MSME, उसको जब समझाते थे कि ऑनलाइन डिजिटल, तो वो बहुत अचंभे की नज़र से आपकी तरफ देखते थे कि ये क्या बताने आ रहे हैं. That's where I saw huge opportunity because जब मैं बेंचमार्क कर रहा था कि अगर मोबाइल टेलीफोनी आएगी, इंटरनेट आएगा, एंड व्हेन आई कंपेयर्ड इंडिया वर्सेस आवर नेबर्स वेदर इट वाज चाइना or some of the European markets, I saw that mobile telephony was the biggest change. The mobile internet was the next level change. And if it all happened in those markets, India could not be behind.
Right.
So that's the first thing that gave me confidence that this was the right place to be in. And since I had seen from 2010 to 2012 how the mobile telephony grew,
Right.
because the mobile telephony grew like a hockey stick curve.
Yeah.
You know, so I was very confident that technology is a great leveler, and it would not take time the moment internet happens, and then mobile internet happens. So it would really take off, and that's where I thought we were in the right space. So at that point in time, it was still desktop, mobile nahi tha.
Right.
So our entire focus was how do we deliver the right experience through desktop experience.
Right.
हम लोग जाते थे अपने सेलर के पास, उनको डेस्कटॉप में क्या बेसिक्स दिखाने हैं. आई थिंक दैट टाइम द बेसिक वाज हाउ कैन आई गेट योर ऑनलाइन प्रेजेंस. बिजनेस की ना 3-4 रिक्वायरमेंट होती हैं. एक्सेस टू रीच, एक्सेस टू नई मार्केट कैसे मिले, एक्सेस टू फाइनेंस, एक्सेस टू टेक्नोलॉजी, एंड लास्ट वन इज एक्सेस टू टैलेंट.
Right.
उस समय हम लोग जो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहे थे वो एक्सेस टू रीच, एक्सेस टू न्यूअर मार्केट्स, जो बिजनेस छोटे वाले हैं जिनको ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलती.
Right.
विद दैट थिंग इन माइंड हमने अपना प्रोडक्ट बिल्कुल डेस्कटॉप वाला सिंपल रखा, उसको एक अच्छा सा कैटलॉग बना के ऑनलाइन दिया, उनको बेसिक सिखाए. उस पर एक हमने क्लाउड टेलीफोनी सॉल्यूशंस लगाया कि आपके पास जो फ़ोन आएगा वो आपको पता रहे कि बायर का फ़ोन आ रहा है, स्पैम फ़ोन नहीं आ रहा.
Right.
तो जिसको हम इंडिया मार्ट भाषा में PNS भी बोलते हैं,
Right.
प्रेफर्ड नंबर सर्विस, बट इट वाज नथिंग बट अ क्लाउड टेलीफोनी सॉल्यूशन. उसके बाद धीरे धीरे जैसे मार्केट ग्रो करी, मोबाइल इंटरनेट आया. सो फ्रॉम डेस्कटॉप वी मूव टू मोबाइल साइट, और उसके बाद फिर हमने जाके अपनी ऐप बनाई. सो वी वर क्लियर कि हमारी अप्रोच क्या रहेगी, बिकॉज वी वर कॉन्फिडेंट कि हमें अपने कस्टमर्स की ज़रूरतें अच्छे से पता हैं. And from there on, we kept adding a lot of products and services on our product suite. Whether it was prices on the products, then we had our lead manager, जिसे CRM बोलते हैं.
Right.
फिर उसके बाद हमारे vernacular आ गया, and then conversation commerce आ गया, then accounting आ गई. As the industry kept growing, we were always ahead of the curve by ensuring right tech interventions in our product suite, which will make life easy for our businesses. तो वहाँ behavior based हमने मैच मेकिंग करनी शुरू करी, ताकि बायर को बिल्कुल अच्छी मैच मेकिंग मिले, जो बायर ढूंढ रहा है उसको हम बिल्कुल ठीक सेलर से मिलवा पाएं. So what I'm trying to tell you कि we evolved as we were seeing our customer needs were changing, and then as mobile internet was taking off, how could we take advantage of those changes?
Right.
So I think that's what we went for, and that's what gave us the right experience to our customers, and that helped us in actually taking our solution not only to metros,
Right.
but to even tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 towns, and then we were able to create the scale that we are today.
Right.
So I think this is what is the in a kind of, and we have still not stopped. I think lot more to be done. हमें अभी बहुत काम करना बाकी है इंडिया मार्ट में for our MSMEs. तो जो हमारा की स्लोगन है to make doing business easy, उसमें अभी बहुत काम अभी भी करना बाकी है, मुझे ऐसे लगता है, and we are at it.
Right. So what are few blind spots that you still see MSMEs for MSME businesses?
MSME business बहुत आज भी काम करने का तरीका काफ़ी चेंज हुआ है, लेकिन अभी भी मुझे लगता है कि काफ़ी कुछ उनको सीखने के लिए है. MSME का टिपिकल बिहेवियर है कि प्रायोरिटी थोड़ी सी डिफ्यूज सी रहती है कि मुझे ही सब कुछ करना है। एक MSME के जो टिपिकल एक तो है क्या कि इंडिया में अगर तकरीबन 1.5 करोड़ GST रजिस्टर्ड बिजनेस हैं, तो उसमें से मेजॉरिटी प्रोप्राइटरशिप कंपनी है जो छोटी टर्नओवर वाले हैं। तकरीबन 1.5 करोड़ से नीचे वाले बिजनेस ज़्यादा हैं। तो वो नॉर्मली क्या होता है, 1 या 2 आदमी, 1 मैन आर्मी है या 2-3 लोग रखे हुए हैं। तो टिपिकल जो प्रोप्राइटर ड्रिवन होता है तो उसको लगता है कि मेरे को ही सब काम करना है। उसको अकाउंटिंग भी देखनी है, उसको फाइनेंस भी देखना है, उसको मार्केट भी देखनी है, उसको प्रोडक्ट भी देखना है, सोर्सिंग भी देखनी है, सेल्स भी देखनी है। सो दैट्स वेयर आई स्ट्रांगली बिलीव कि वो MSME पूरी लाइफ उसी में निकाल देता है। सो देयर इज अ वेरी वेरी स्टैंडर्ड सेइंग, वट एवर गॉट यू हेयर विल नॉट गेट यू देयर। अगर आप 40 लाख, 1 करोड़, 1.5 करोड़ पे पहुंच गए हो तो आप अपनी प्रायोरिटीज क्लियर करो एंड द वे ऑफ यू डू बिजनेस हैज टू चेंज। और या वो टेक्नोलॉजी के थ्रू हो कि आप टेक्नोलॉजी लगाएं अपने बिजनेस में, लाइफ सिंपल करें, अपना कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस ठीक करें, या आप 1-2 आदमी लेके हैं जिनको नॉन एसेंशियल काम डेलीगेट कर सकते हैं, या तीसरा और भी है कि आप आउटसोर्स कर दें। इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड बहुत सारा काम है जो आपकी आउटसोर्स एजेंसी करती हैं। अब तो आज के टाइम पे AI भी आ गया है, AI भी बहुत सारा काम कर लेता है। व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल यू, दोज MSMEs नीड अ डिफरेंट थॉट, डिफरेंट अप्रोच टू स्केल अप देयर बिजनेस to next level, and they have in it. They are hustlers. The good part is those MSMEs, all of them are hustlers. They don't give up. But I think that rigid mindset कि मुझे ऐसे ही करना है, they need to look at things with a very different approach, with a very open mindset कि मैं इसको scale कैसे करूँ। तो वो तभी उस वाले जो अपना सर्कल है उनका, उससे बाहर निकल के बिजनेस बड़ा कर पाएंगे। So that's something very very basic. Second, lot of business still don't formalize. GST है, taxation है, e-way bills हैं. These are all big enablers for your businesses. इनको जितना अच्छे से आप अडॉप्ट करोगे, इतने बढ़िया पेमेंट सॉल्यूशंस आ गए हैं। इंडिया हैज बिकम द बिगेस्ट पेमेंट सॉल्यूशन मार्केट। राइट, ये सारी टेक्नोलॉजी आपके पास बहुत अच्छी हैं। मेक टेक्नोलॉजी योर फ्रेंड, गो ऑनलाइन, आप अपने बिजनेस को शोकेस करें, चाहे आपका B2B बिजनेस है, B2C बिजनेस है, D2C बिजनेस है, आज सबके लिए टेक्नोलॉजी अवेलेबल है। आप उस टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करें, मेक टेक्नोलॉजी योर फ्रेंड एंड ट्राई टू रीच आउट टू न्यूअर मार्केट्स, लार्जर मार्केट्स। As I always say that technology has ensured a democratization of opportunities, right? आप छोटे बिजनेस बन के भी एक बड़े बिजनेस के साथ कॉम्पीट कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज टेक्नोलॉजी ने वो एडवांटेज दे दी है आपको। तो उसको ठीक से यूज करें एंड ट्राई टू मेक श्योर दैट प्रोडक्ट, सर्विस, एक्सपीरियंस यू आर एबल टू डिलीवर एट पार विद वट एवर योर कस्टमर्स आर एक्सपेक्टिंग। तो ये आई वुड से दीज आर 2 बिगर थिंग्स। तीसरा, बिकम फाइनेंशियली प्रूडेंट, जो एक सबसे जैसे मैंने बोला, एक्सेस टू मार्केट, एक्सेस टू फाइनेंस। बहुत सारे बिजनेस हैं, प्रोडक्ट अच्छा है, प्रोडक्ट मार्केट फिटमेंट अच्छी है, बट आई डोंट हैव फंड्स। मार्केट में बहुत लोग हैं जो आपको फंड्स देने के लिए तैयार हैं। वो टाइम चला गया। नाउ यू हैव वेरियस वेज एंड मीन्स थ्रू विच यू कैन रेज फंड्स। You need debt, you need equity, you need VC funding, you need PE help. बहुत सारे NBFCs हैं जो आपको lending के लिए, and these NBFCs और online lending available है. Right. So I would say there are multiple avenues that you have to source funds if that is what you need to scale up. Right. Use these opportunities, use these tools to scale up. So coming back to the same point, today MSMEs need a very different perspective, fresh approach. Opportunities बहुत हैं. In a country like India, we have tremendous opportunities. Right. But look at all these things with a different approach. Right. Try to formalize your business, adopt technology, and see what is happening around you to get some of those things into your day-to-day life. Right. So that reminds me, a very good experience. I was in Airtel and we were setting up a new network in Maharashtra. उससे पहले सारी टेलीफोन एक्सचेंजेस होती थी, बहुत बड़ी बड़ी एनालॉग एक्सचेंजेस होती थी। तो जब ये GSM आया, नई टेक्नोलॉजी आई, तो वी हैड सिंगटेल एज आवर पार्टनर। तो Singtel के जो CTO होते थे, he was on our board and he came to visit us in Maharashtra. So he said because network center बनाना होता है जिसे switch बोलते हैं, मोबाइल टेलीफोनी का switch बोलते हैं, वो switch लगा रहे थे and switch is the nerve center, heart of any mobile telephone operation. So I asked, David was his name. I said, David, so what do you need to set up the switch? He said, Dinesh, I need only 1,500 or 2,000 square feet of area. That area has to be with complete AC and one guard and one dog. I was kind of completely nonplussed. I said, David, what are you saying? 1,500 square feet में 1,500 square feet में आप switch लगा दोगे? He said, yeah, these are very latest technology. Smart switches, लग जाएगा आपको पूरा switch. I said, then why do you need this guard and a dog? He said, these are fully automated switches. No human intervention is required. Once we program these switches, they'll do well. So dog will make sure that nobody enters that switch. So I said, okay, so then why do you need that guard? He said, who's going to feed that dog? So that was in year 2001, 2002. Technology was moving in a very different direction. So that's what I'm saying. Technology has always been a great leveler. You need to be open to adopting that technology.
So this was about MSME, and I'd like to now break the business into a couple of segments and get your insights. So there are founders, who are able to travel the journey from 0 to 10 crores, but they are now chasing, let's say, 50 crores. So what is it that they need to do, according to you, from 10 to 15 crore journey? And what are certain things that they need to? So like, for example, we talked about MSME. So let's say somebody who's built a business from 0 to, let's say, 1 CR, 1.5 CR, 2 CR. The insight that I got from you is they need to look at their businesses differently. Now, there are another set of founders who are able to reach up to 10 crore, but there is a ceiling at that level. So I want to understand your...
Thanks. It's very, very good question. And I see a lot of businesses getting stuck between, they are able to do 0 to 1 journey, but 1 to 10, they fumble. And so first and foremost, I would say any entrepreneur, they need to be absolutely hands-on. So what do I mean by hands-on? People believe that when they do 0 to 1 journey, they can relax, right? So that's where they become slightly, hands-off. So you always need to be hands-on, whether you are 1 crore business or 1,000 crore business. I think as an entrepreneur, you need to always have your eyes on the ball. So that's very, very critical. And that's where I believe people start, there is an imbalance between strategy and execution.
Right.
And I firmly believe, and I've learned it hard way, that superb strategy executed poorly will give you, or executed in an average manner, will give you very substandard output versus an average strategy executed flawlessly, seamlessly, will give you far superior results, outcome. So that's where I believe that the moment you are taking that jump from 1 to 10 crores or 10 to 100 crores, you need to remain not only as hands-on as you were earlier, but now you have bigger things at stake, larger business at stake. So you need to be hands-on. That's first, and continue to focus on execution operations. Don't think that now I'll only strategize and I'll leave execution to people. So that's where I see a lot of people during this stage, they hand over the ball to somebody else. Second, as you are growing, you need to also make sure that you are understanding your customer needs. Right? You have done your first level of customer intervention. As you get into next scale, maybe you have different level of needs from the same customers. Is your product meeting those, expectations, those requirements? So that's where I believe you may want to review your product market fitment and want to coin the next level of product intervention, right? That's very, very essential, because as you grow large, I'll give you IndiaMart example. We were pure matchmaking platform in year 2012.
Right.
Today we are conversation commerce platform, and we are still not happy with whatever we have delivered. And I see too much more that we can deliver by adding new technologies, new interventions, new services. So as you are becoming bigger, the expectations from you are also more. Or maybe there are opportunities in the segments, customer segments, for delivering newer services. So look at your product market fitment and see if there is any opportunity to, Third one, don't wait for Ferrari. Right? Keep on the move. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs. They want कि जब तक मेरा product बिल्कुल superb नहीं हो जाएगा next level वाला, 10 करोड़ या 50 करोड़ segment के लिए delivery नहीं करेगा, I will not go to the market. I think you will miss the bus. Keep evolving your products and services. Keep doing pilots. Keep doing experiments in smaller markets, and whatever feedback you are getting, keep evolving your product. But keep on moving. Don't wait. As I said, one fine day I'll have the best, suited product, and then I'll go to the market. That's a myth. That's always a myth. Never, believe in that. Try to get things away from you as an entrepreneur, which are non-essential for you. As you are going to the next level of journey, maybe you want to offer logistics to somebody else. You may want to offer banking to somebody else. Right? During that period, your still focus is how to scale my business, business development, sales, product, technology. These are few cores. You may want to keep it to yourself. And rest all you may want to give it to various other stakeholders. These can be agencies, outsource agencies, or other people that you hire. But I'm trying to tell you, keep giving these things so that you can focus on what is the most important thing for you for that scale up. The other thing which is that important, that scale up, is the new set of talent that you need. Right? You would need a new bandwidth, new thoughts, new technology. You will not be able to do it alone. So try to get maybe one or two, whatever the business warrants, good set of people who can be good, right hand and left hand for you. What we call co-founders, and then, whosoever they can be. But get some fresh talent, new talent, which can help you to go for the next level of. And last, most critical, don't miss the unit economics. Don't believe that now I have arrived, अब तो 10 करोड़ कर लिया, अब तो मैं रिस्क ले सकता हूँ. रिस्क लीजिए, go for risk, but don't miss the unit economics, and keep an eye on your burn, on your top line, on your bottom line. You may want to go for over leverage, over burn, maybe for a short period of time, but that should be measured on returns, and then come back. So that I think you need to keep that economics
in mind,
firmly in mind. These are few things that I would like to.
जी, एक बिजनेस सेगमेंट बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. बहुत सारी कंपनीज हैं इंडिया में जो 100 से 150 करोड़ पर हैं, और मैं बहुत सारे फाउंडर्स को जानता हूँ, काफ़ी लोगों से मैंने साथ में काम भी किया हुआ है. वो लोग बहुत अच्छा करना चाहते हैं, उनके एम्बिशन है नेक्स्ट 400 करोड़, 500 करोड़ या उससे भी बड़ी कंपनी बिल्ड करने के, बट कुछ ना कुछ है वो नहीं कर पाते. आई डोंट नो, मुझसे हमेशा ये क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है कि कैसे हम करें. तो आई शेयर योर एग्जाम्पल, एंड बट आई वुड लाइक टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम यू कि वहाँ पे उस सेगमेंट में क्या ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जो रुक जाती हैं, बिकॉज वहाँ पे बिजनेस ऑपरेशन आपका बहुत हद तक सॉर्टेड रहता है. अब कुछ ना कुछ उनको रोकता है आगे की ग्रोथ करने के लिए, बिकॉज अब बिजनेस रेवेन्यू ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, काफ़ी एक्सपीरियंस है. अगर आपने 100 करोड़ एंड अबव इंडिया में बिजनेस किया है तो दैट मीन्स आपने सिग्निफिकेंटली बहुत अच्छा किया है, टीम भी ठीक ठाक बिल्ड की होगी. तो क्या बिकॉज आपने इस ग्रोथ को खुद से ट्रैवल किया है, और आप बहुत सारे इंडिया मार्ट के जो पार्टनर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, आपने उनके साथ भी आप उनको कुछ ना कुछ एडवाइस करते होंगे उनकी ग्रोथ में. तो I'd like to know more about this special segment.
I think I'll continue from the last question that you asked. The biggest challenge, according to me, in people who are between 100 to 150 crore, there is no dearth of market. Market hai. Product is also there, because that's how they are doing 100 or 150 crores, because they have product, they have reach. The product fitment is there. Few things may be applicable on case-to-case basis. But the basic thing that I see, they don't have the right talent. They continue to run that business as a typical proprietor. Right? And they want to control everything. Right? And आप 100 या 150 करोड़ के बिजनेस पर अगर पहुंच गए हो, this is the time for you to build a team which can then take you to next level. But that doesn't mean you are giving up your controls. No. You are only getting talent. You are getting governance into the system. Make your processes which will help you to delegate and review. But get fresh set of people who can think, who can complement your products, processes, and take you to next level. See, for 100, 150 crores business that you would have done, you would have spent minimum 15, 20 years. 10, 15 years minimum, I would say. So there is a typical way of you doing business. Now you need a fresh set of thoughts. You need fresh strategy. Go to newer markets. How do I get into new product segment maybe, which is very adjacent to my core product. But वो आपका सोचने का तरीका ऐसे ही है. So you need fresh set of people who will come, think, and help you expand your product, your processes, your markets, and your technology. So that's where, you know, I see most of the people ना वो नया talent लेके आते हैं, ना वो outsource करना चाहते हैं. So they continue to run the way they have been doing this business. So I think that's first and foremost, I would say stumbling block for most of the businesses typically who are stuck between 100 to 150 crores for last so many years. And I can give you so many examples, people who got new set of people, professionals, and they get into proper governance. They have scaled and they never looked back. IndiaMart is one example. In 2012, we were 125 crores, and full credit to the entire team there. We built up fresh set of talent, processes. We had board at that point in time, independent board at that point in time, and then we kept involving, improving our technology. But that was only possible because we were getting a lot of people, fresh ideas, and then we were actually exposed. We were exposing ourselves to what all is happening in other markets. What can we bring back to IndiaMart? So, and there are so many other examples, and in across industry. That's the first thing. Second, these businesses, if they may not need the funds, right? But getting some investor just for the namesake gets you lot of fresh perspective, newer insights. Right? The person who is going to invest this much will also bring in a lot of insights, will also ask you difficult questions, which will force you to think, how do I take things to next level? Right? So that's something which I believe is very, very important that you can think of. Or 150 crore is decent value of business. Create an independent board. Right? And give the independence to that board to question you. And trust me, they will only value add to you. Expose yourself to those set of people and they will only value add to you. So, वो जो 100 to 150 crore वाला है is a very different nut to crack. You need a very different thought process, mindset. You are in a very sweet spot. You have money. Your product market fitment is there. You can attract talent, but कुछ भी नहीं कर रहे आप.
Correct.
Right? Because you believe that you have 150 crores at stake.
Right.
कहीं ये ना चला जाए.
Right.
वो वैसे ही चला जाएगा अगर आपने इसको evolve नहीं किया.
Right.
So I think few things that you would definitely like to explore, whether it is getting new set of talent, get a board, get some little investment, चाहे वो P का है, चाहे किसी का VC का है, and then let those people question you, expose yourself, and then see where are things which need a lot of hammering, lot of chisel, and then to improve those things. So I'm sure you will scale. And I gave IndiaMart example. I can give you so many other examples. I remember in my early days, 2 cycle companies I used to deal with. One was Hero Cycle, and I'll not name the other company because that brand is now extinct. And at one point in time, both those cycle companies were doing similar amount of business, right? And here was a family-run business who believed that between all our brothers, we are best equipped to handle this business. So they never let anybody even enter. They never hired professionals, and that brand is extinct today.
Right.
And here we had Hero Cycles. Hero is a global brand today, from cycles to motorcycles to now
Everything.
EVs and then whole lot of stuff. Because I remember the Brijmohan Munjal, Mr. Munjal, Bauji bolte the hum unko. He had that. He wanted people to come and guide him, tell him things which could be done better. And I learned so much from him. I had only 2 interactions, but those 2 meetings were kind of life-changing meetings, you know, with him. And where, in spite of Munjals being a large family, but they are in a different domain, different space, because they were quite open to getting newer things, newer technology, and yeah.
So they don't. So I have seen while working with you, you have invested a lot in people, and see, people have built businesses like 100, 150 crore. People can build businesses. There are enough examples. People can also build products, but very few people focus on the people dimension, and this is something which I have seen a very core element of your leadership. And so, what stops other business leaders or maybe organization that we are talking about in investing in people? What is your view about it?
So I'm a firm believer in people. I've been maintaining all through my life that products can be copied, prices can be matched. What you cannot match is your people, right? A team makes the biggest difference. You have right set of people.
Right.
They'll take you to different level. A leader is as good as the team around him. As I mentioned, that I collect people. I collect people who are passionate, and that's where I've been able to build up a lot of winning teams. Right. So for me, people have always been the first priority. Right. So all the businesses, what they need is people investment, social investment, financial investment. But for me, people investment is the biggest investment. People who are curious, who are energetic, who are passionate, and who don't fear to fail. Those are the right set of people I have always been chasing. People who are hungry, give me more, give me more. अच्छा मैं करके देखता हूँ, right? And people who don't believe that वो psychological status होता है ना कि पहले मुझे designation दे दो फिर मैं ये काम करूँगा.
Right.
So I don't think those people go very far off. The people who are always hungry for more, and how you handle the failure. One failure is I'm doomed. The other failure is learn, get up, run much faster this time from the learning that you had from the previous failure.
Right.
So these are few things that really, I've been trying to look into people around me.
Right.
And I am the one who's always given lot of responsibilities, and though people at times they don't like कि आप बहुत सारा काम कराते हो. But then that's how you learn. That's how I learned.
Right.
That's how I learned. And it's for your. This is the time. This is the age when you should be, asking for और दे दो मुझे और दे दो. And I saw that in you. And then that's where the day you told me कि हाँ मुझे तो अपना काम करना है. I said you will do well. So Abhishek, carry on. So people is an important element, most important element in your entrepreneurial journey. You have to have that knack to spot the right talent. And right talent is not through CVs and then through, this can be right talent you will come across sitting in a restaurant, in an airport, meeting some people in few conferences. So you have to have that knack, that knack of identifying the right talent, be it sales, marketing, technology, or wherever. I'm sure you will get the right talent, and that's how I've been building teams. So from where we were in India Mart and where we are, we have some of the best talents coming from best of the brands all over the world. We've been able to get them on board. So People. They make all the difference. Rest all you will be able to get if you have the right talent at the right place.
Right.
And don't get fixated कि ये आदमी तो यही कर सकता है. Give them an opportunity. Take a leap of faith.
Right.
Most of the time you will not get disappointed.
Right.
And especially this younger set of people,
Right.
they are fearless set of people.
Right.
So trust them. I come across on many occasions कि इसको तो experience ही 4 साल का है, 5 साल का है. And that's the reason why we should, entrust him with take a leap of faith on him rather than किसी आप 20 साल वाले experience को लेके आओ. So I think these are few things that I have learned over last few years. Right. And I am very comfortable and I still take bet on my people, and they have most of the time they have always made me win.
That's how you command such a huge fan following. Everyone, I've been to all the IndiaMart offices that time, so they used to be 125 offices at that point of time. I would have visited at least 50, 60 of them. And there I saw right from executive to the branch managers. Of course, branch managers used to interact with you quite often, so they would often take your name, but everyone used to have that connect with you. And in your organization, in the current generation, if you look at Gen Z's work there, millennials work there, senior pros are there, and also the new gen, alphas are also now going to be part of the organization. So how do you connect with all of them now?
So these are really exciting times, for all of us, especially people at our age. You actually can see the very distinct expectations that people come, from alphas to millennia to people, baby boomers.
Yeah.
We have the entire band in IndiaMart. So and these expectations, their requirements are very distinct, and they need very different treatment also. So you can't say that I am used to handling set of people for last so many years like this, and hence I will treat you the same way. So we've been consciously trying to change ourselves how we handle these sort of people. We have created various programs within the organization so that they make sure that these set of people get the kind of treatment they have. So to give you an example, 3 years back we moved from annual salary to weekly salary. So we realized that these set of people, they are so heavy into e-commerce. They are so heavy into eating out of various apps, right? Using Olas and Ubers. So they need cash on day-to-day basis. Gone are the days when a salary at the end of the month would suffice their needs, right? And I would see every day a lot of e-commerce boxes coming on every desk, fashion, shoes and electronics and gadgetries. So we moved to weekly salary. So that was a big change at that point in time. But that's I think what we needed. Not many organizations have replicated that, but we are happy that we moved into that. Having said that, these set of people are much more confident, and they actually need that kind of exposure. You trust them, give them more and more work. But they are also expecting minimal supervision. They don't want to be, controlled. They don't want to be told every now and then what to do, how to do. It's like my own son. Right? I ask, he doesn't want, please just, I'm doing it. Chill. So I think that feeling of chill. So somewhere all of us need to draw a balance. Where do we draw a line where we say, okay, it's your baby, you handle it. And once you get stuck, please come back to me and I'll, be able to help you. I'd like to help you. But also, this also tells you that you have to change your business review practices. How do you handle those, processes, review processes? What frequency would you like to have those reviews? How would you create those reports? So we have moved to very smart, strong reports which are telling us how somebody is handling the role, the job, and does it call for manual intervention, what frequency of reviews, personal reviews. So what I'm trying to tell you is, and that you have to change your own setup, own processes, so that you are able to get the right experience being delivered to these set of people.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, how do you get all of them on same table? It's also a kind of challenge, but you also need to manage the organization.
Right.
You can't have this organization is only for
a particular generation.
So you also have to have, and that's where I think we have structured in a way that the layering between various hierarchy is in such a way that people are able to value add to each other. Third, what we have consciously been building, that we make people move every 2 years into a different role. See, that has given the biggest advantage to us.
Right.
So moving people from one process to another, from second process to third, so they are always in a learning mode. And while they are learning, they are also value adding, complementing to the other process, because they came from that process. They are also sharing their views and this thing. So these are quite a few interventions that we have tried to build in, which will help get a typical workspace, an organization where all of them are working together, contributing, value adding to each other, and learning from each other. It's very important. This alpha generation learns from good practices of the predecessors. Right. It's not that they are the ones who don't need any kind of learning. They need perhaps a very different trait of learning from all of us. So that's how we are making various forums where they come, they interact, they value add, they discuss, and they learn from each other. So those are the things which and this set of people are extremely confident. So trust them. I think the biggest thing that we need to, at least people at our age, start trusting them. Don't always question कि नहीं यार ये तो बहुत छोटा है. No, I think that's a wrong perception, wrong notion. Trust them, give them responsibilities, be with them, but don't be a pest. Don't be like day in day out, meddle into the way they are functioning. They'll give them freedom and confidence that they can approach you whenever they need. I think that's what we've been doing.
So अगर आपको Gen Z को जो प्रोफेशनली वर्क कर रहे हैं, अगर 2-3 एडवाइस देनी हो, टॉप 3 एडवाइस, if you would like to suggest something to them, what would that be?
First and foremost, trust the environment. So this Gen Z as a generation, I think they look at everything with a kind of doubt. Okay. Second, have patience. They are always on move. They're always on the move. Right? They may not like something today and they decide to quit and then make a move. I think anything which is bigger, which has a kind of journey ahead, will take time to build up. So they need to have that patience and trust that things will fall in place. And they have an equal role and responsibility to make that happen. So somewhere I believe, I see that the expectation the Gen Z has from other side is huge. And I'm not saying that all of them are like this, but a lot of them have very little contribution to make that happen. They believe पहले आप करोगे तो फिर हम भी reciprocate करेंगे. But I think it's like an partnership, right? And then so you also need to showcase your ownership, your partnership, and then so the biggest advice is have patience, have trust, and things will fall in place, and you have an equal role and responsibility to make that happen. So I would say this is the biggest advice that I can give to this set of people.
डीजी, मैंने आपके साथ में काफ़ी क्लोजली काम किया है और बहुत छोटी छोटी चीज़ों को ऑब्जर्व किया है. एंड देयरफॉर मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहूँगा कि किसी प्रोफेशनल के लिए, एन एग्जीक्यूटिव, मिडिल लेवल मैनेजर जो किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम कर रहा है, कौन सी छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं जो उनको शायद पता नहीं होती हैं बट उनकी टीम, उनकी परफॉर्मेंस में बहुत इम्पैक्ट करती है. सो आपको मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. सो फॉर एग्जांपल लेट्स से, एंड आई डोंट नो इफ आई हैव शेयर्ड दिस विद यू अर्लियर, व्हेन आई जॉइन्ड इंडिया मार्ट एंड आई स्टार्टेड वर्किंग देयर, आई यूज्ड टू सी यू कमिंग before all of us, and you used to travel all the way from Gurgaon and used to leave pretty late. But that's something which I never saw you being bothered about it. You know, you used to come happily and go happily, and you would be occupied during the entire day. But this is something. This small thing used to motivate us, push us. Used to push us that we should also be. I mean, you used to get energy from this small thing. So many times people talk about a lot of things about leadership, but miss out on certain basics. So what basics have you always followed, and you'd like to suggest professionals to follow that to become successful in whichever company they are working and growing?
You have to be the role model for others. If you want anybody to be disciplined, and I'm not talking about this particular example of coming on time, whatever you want others to be, you will have to lead, because most of the time it happens that our team looks up to the leader they have.
Right.
And it's like, in a family, if the father is a smoker, very high probability that the son will also smoke.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I don't want my kids not to smoke, I should be, So similarly, the teams around the leader, they look up to you and they try to emulate.
Right.
And chances of they picking up good habits are low. They picking up bad habits are always high, because those are shortcuts. Those are easy to catch up. So it's a difficult one, but you need to, whether it is financial discipline, time discipline, product discipline, or any weekly report or whatever you are saying, reviews, you need to really make sure that you are sending the right signal to the team,
Right.
that they would like to emulate, they would like to replicate, and it's going to help in their personal and professional life. So that's something very, very basic as a leader. Second, there is a difference between being hands-on and being a micromanager. And that's where people, overlap. Right. They go beyond the Lakshman Rekha.
Right.
So be a hands-on manager, but don't be a micromanager, right? The moment you try to become a micromanager, then you are getting into somebody else's space.
Right.
And which can be very, very suffocating for your team.
Right.
And you will kill the talent which they have.
Right.
Right? So somewhere I have always tried to balance myself between being hands-on and not being a micromanager.
Right.
So I would tell you do so many things, and then I would leave it to you.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I had my eyes closed on what was happening.
Right.
I would still do a review and will share my feedback. That these are the things which can further be improved.
Right.
But ultimately, it's your baby, and you have to run it.
Right.
Right. So that's and you saw it. How and we achieved practically everything. So that's where try to not get into a micromanagement. And in today's scenario, it will not work.
Right.
With Gen Zs and then alphas, it will not work for sure. So that's where I think you need to really. Third, eye on some dashboards which will tell you how is the health of business. वो जो सब अच्छा है, सब चंगा है, right? All is well. is वो मूवी में ही अच्छा रहता है.
Right.
As a business champion, as a business head, as a business manager, as a leader, you need to have dashboards which are regularly telling you what are things which are doing right, going right for you, what are things which need some intervention, some correction, so that you can work on timely interventions. Right. That's something I would say. And last but important, keep your people together. Have trust on your people. Enable them. Don't always doubt them.
Right.
Enable them through right technology, through right training, right skill set, right inputs, by asking right questions. Right, that's very important. If you're asking right questions, you'll get the right answer, and that will also set your team to the right path.
Right.
It's very important for you to ask right questions.
Right.
So these are few things I would like
So taking now to a different segment where I'd like to understand your views, because you also been investing in companies now. So what do you see in a founder which convinces you that this is a good person to invest?
Not many things. I think driving them. Is it a genuine problem they're trying to solve? Right? And it's not me too. Normally I've seen अच्छा क्विक कॉमर्स चल रहा है, मैं भी क्विक कॉमर्स खोल लेता हूँ. फूड डिलीवरी चल रहा है, मैं भी फूड डिलीवरी खोल लेता हूँ. लॉजिस्टिक्स चल रहा है, so I can do this in logistics. I think if you are genuinely solving a problem where there is a scope for a new entrant, or you have identified absolutely a new problem to solve, I would be with you and I would like to take a bet on you.
Right.
Second, which is very, very important, is the quality of founder. Are they a hustler, they're passionate, how much conviction and confidence they have about what they are trying to solve, what is their past experience, even if they have come from a corporate background, how has been their corporate journey. They in the corporate journey were problem solvers. You ask them, ask right questions, you'll get to know were they actually problem solvers.
Right.
Are they tech geeks? Are they financial prudence? Are they financial mavericks? Who are they? And will they be the right fit for the problem they are going to solve? So these are few things, that and during this discussion, I also try to understand that are they going to be in this journey for long? Are they building this business to solve a problem for long, or they are here only के quick valuation and
Right.
बेच के निकल जाएंगे?
Right.
So the questions that you ask them,
Right.
the discussions you have with them will give you very good insights on what is it that is driving them.
Right.
And then you can take a call.
So we work with a lot of young students, especially students who are in class 8, 9, 10th, 11th, 12th. So what happens, there is a challenge that this generation is facing. So their parents, when they were growing up, I mean their grandparents, this generation's grandparents, when they were growing up, they wanted their parents to get a job in a multinational company. Because their grandparents gave their grandparents suggestion that, you should be in a government job. So they got into government job. The second generation came in the multinational company. Now this generation wants to do entrepreneurship. But the parents are not aware about how to go about it. So, and therefore there is a lot of confusion. So what would you like to suggest to this generation that how should they prepare themselves? And a lot of things are changing now. The way jobs are.
See, I think the biggest change which has happened over last decade, last 10, 15 years is at least our community, our society has become open to, our kids or we going for entrepreneurship. Right? You rightly said, when I passed out my engineering, the only dream my father had was कि किसी PSU में नौकरी कर ले. Right? Because PSUs were slightly better than government typical organizations. तो बस इसकी life set हो जाएगी. So, and I never had that in my mind ever. So, but now, thankfully, over last 10, 15 years, there's so much awareness about that people can go for their own businesses, own setups. Even during this period, the gig economy has also come up. So you may not want to get into a 9 to 5 time slot. You may want to do something on your own, freelancing and all lot of stuff. So which is what is. So people are actually coming to accept that as a new norm. So which is something very, very healthy for our country, our economy and our next generation. Now to answer what you asked, this as a kid, I want to go learn about entrepreneurship, क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे करना चाहिए. This is not only parents' responsibility. It is the community. When I say community, it is parents, school, the government. All of us will have to put together things together to make sure that our kids are getting into right knowledge about, not necessarily being an entrepreneur, but being creative. Taking the right decisions, whether it is in their business or at their job, so that they actually are not typically people who are always looking up to what is told to them, they'll deliver that. So starting from primary education to how can we, get into grooming them, rather than you and me all, वो रट्टू तोते की तरह हमने tables याद किए, ये किया, वो किया, which is maybe not the need in today's, so how do I get them, how can we give them hands-on experience to real life problem solving at that age? That's something we need to really look up to. From primary to secondary education, can we make corporate exposure, maybe any kind of internships? The internship today we have is only happening in the post-graduation. can I give them some internship for 2 months, 3 months early in their life? And these are to be graded. As you get grades for maths and English and science, then only the importance and necessity of this whole experience will become important in anybody's curriculum. Otherwise, वो हमने भी internship करी, but I know what I did in my internship, right? Can I give early life secondary exposure to a kid going to nearby bakery, to work with a plumber, to work with an electrician, right? There is no problem. Today you need to give, we have respect for these kind of jobs. Global markets, they have these jobs as well respected as any other managerial job. So can we create a system, can we create a society where these things are not looked down upon? कि यार ये तो electrician और ये bakery और ये plumbing. No, that's a hands-on experience which actually gives you real life problem solving exposure. And that's where the curiosity comes to learn more, right? So that's where I believe, similarly, when the person is going to the next level, we have 3-year, 4-year graduation course. I don't want to spend 4 years in a go. Give me an option after 2 years of my studies. Can I go for 1 year real life, job, floor experience, shop floor experience, and come back so that I become much more, that next 2 year study becomes much more relevant for me, right? So I think we need to look at this whole perspective very, very differently. We have many in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 societies. Thankfully, a lot of corporates are setting up their, shops and then manufacturings and stores and then dark kitchens and then dark stores, warehouses, and then tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. These are also becoming the logistics excellence center. Similarly, there are a lot of IT centers in smaller towns. Can we get those, centers, logistics centers, government IT, institutes to give very early life hands-on experience to people so that they get trained in the domain. See, we need to prepare our people for vocational study, vocational experiences. I just wrote an article, and in that article I mentioned of all the graduates that get passed out every year in India, and be it engineering or normal, arts or finance or commerce or history, all those graduates, only 30-35% graduates are found to fit enough to pick up a job for the right skill set that the corporate world needs. What is it telling us? There is so much gap in what we are teaching our kids in classrooms and what actually we need in our corporate world, in our society, in our community. So that's where I see that gap needs to be bridged by not only the parents, but parents, schools, colleges, and the government agencies and the corporate houses to come together and weave very different programs at different levels so that we can have this early on exposure and understanding on what I need and how should I go about it. So that's where I think we need to look at this piece very, very differently.
Absolutely. So one question, because you work with a lot of job creators, you enable businesses. So people are actually scared of AI, general public who don't know much about AI. So what is your take? Is it going to, so there are two ways of people looking at AI. One is there are people, they are looking at as an enabler, but there are people also scared, especially, people who have their children going for jobs in coming years. So they are scared. And so I'd like to know your perspective,
So whether you like it or no, AI is here. AI is going to make its presence felt much more day by day in our daily life, in our personal life, in our professional life. And it's going to get into our life much faster than the computers and IT happened, right? So we better get hands-on on AI. So there is no other way but to adopt to AI and become hands-on. Having said that, in times to come, people, an engineer who's not AI engineer, an accountant who's not an AI accountant. So an AI engineer is fine. Non-AI engineer will be replaced by an AI engineer. A finance guy, an accountant who's non-AI accountant will
Right.
get replaced by AI accountant.
Right.
So AI is actually becoming a need, a skill set, but it will only replace the competency which is non-AI, the skill set which is non-AI, right? So don't be scared. Get hands-on on AI so that wherever there is an opportunity, you are able to participate in that opportunity, right? That's where I in a layman's language, it will only complement. We should not be scared, but we should be AI skilled. And there is another myth that AI is only for tech guys. No, AI is for people like you and me, for common man, right? And it's very easy, accessible to get basic AI exposure, right? So get that AI exposure so that whenever there is an opportunity, you can participate in that opportunity. Else, you will not even be considered. Right? AI is becoming practically into every domain, and it's only going to increase. It's only going to have much bigger impact on our society. So let's be ready. Let's be ready.
Absolutely. So there is a segment. There is an interesting segment, DG. So what I did, because I was really looking forward to have you in this podcast, I reached out to some of your team members, associates, your people who admire you like me, and I asked them, okay, if they have any questions for me to ask you on their behalf.
Oh.
तो उसमें से एक सवाल ऐसा है जो कि टीम ने पूछा है कि एक ऐसा डायलॉग है जो डीजी अक्सर रिव्यू मीटिंग में यूज करते हैं और वो एक सिग्नेचर डायलॉग है. सो वो कौन सा है?
So I think I use quite a few such colloquial stuff, but एक जो मैं बार बार काफ़ी यूज़ करता हूँ कि मिलेंगे तो डिस्कस करेंगे तो कोई ना कोई सोल्यूशन निकाल ही लेंगे. वो कहते हैं ना कि बात बनाने से ही बनती है. So I think in not only my reviews but in many meetings wherever we are stuck, so I use this कि यार मिलते हैं, बैठते हैं, डिस्कस करते हैं, and I'm sure we'll be able to make a way ahead on this. तो बात बनाने से ही बनती है. So that's what I use quite frequently. I hope that's what
absolutely.
they meant when they asked this question. Whosoever asked this question,
किसी कलीग ने बोला डीजी कि आप बहुत सिंपल एंड डाउन टू अर्थ पर्सन है, जो मैं भी जानता हूँ आप हैं, बट ऐसी एक लग्जरी है जिसको आप कभी कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करते.
गाड़ी, कार. I am very fond of cars, and I would like to go for the latest one, and I don't know how many of I also go for car rallies, so and I try to take that car for my car rallies. So that's what I'm really fond of. So वो latest वाली चाहिए और so, then I don't compromise on that.
So ऐसी कौन सी एडवाइस है जो आपने कभी फॉलो नहीं की?
ऐसी कौन सी एडवाइस है जो मैंने कभी फॉलो नहीं करी? बहुत लोगों ने इंक्लूडिंग माय फादर के डरा कर थोड़ा, डरा करो थोड़ा. वो डरता नहीं हूँ. माय फादर आल्सो इज टेलिंग थोड़ा ठहरने में और डरने में फर्क है. डरना, तो आई डोंट थिंक एवर किसी चीज से डरे नहीं है. सो जो करना है, जो मैंने पहले बोला था, करके देख लेते हैं. करके देख लेते हैं.
जब इंटरव्यू होता है, आपको कोई इंटरव्यू देने आता है, तो इंटरव्यू में सब लोग अपना बेस्ट वर्जन प्रेजेंट करते हैं, बट आप कैसे पहचानते हैं कि रियल वर्जन क्या है?
See, interview is an art. People believe interview it's a skill, but it's also an art. How do you give comfort to the other person, right? That he starts speaking something beyond what you are asking or he wants to tell you, and that will only happen when you will go to his level and give him or her the comfort, and then start asking questions about their professional life, personal life. It's not about only professional life tells you about a personality, about a person. How they would have negotiated many, situations in their personal life will also be a good indication whether he's the right hire or no. So I think that's what has been my way of meeting, interviewing a person, and then giving the person comfort, and then discussing, and during that course of discussion, I'll be able to, and You mentioned earlier that you went to so many branches and you met. So first 3 years in India Mart, 3-4 years, 2012 to 14, 15, I spent so much time meeting the frontline executives.
Right.
I would visit branches, I would travel extensively, meet people, executives. And I would not only get to know the real problem, the ground problem, because I would connect with them, give them confidence, comfort, and they'll, you know, pour their heart out to me. That was also for me a very good way of talent spotting. Right? And in every branch, I would identify that these are the people who can be future managers and leaders. And most of the time, I was proven correct. And those people actually come up to, you know, handling much larger responsibilities than what they were doing in 2012. So it's all about your communication. How do you interact? How do you give comfort? And you know, get what they have in their heart. And then so
फाउंडर्स का सबसे बड़ा मिसकंसेप्शन क्या होता है? Because you also work with a lot of founders. So क्या misconception आपने देखा है founders का?
I think the biggest misconception founders have, I know the most.
ये कुछ उन लोगों ने पूछा है जो आपके साथ जिन्होंने काम किया था और अब वो अपनी कंपनी रन कर रहे हैं.
तो
they wanted to
founders most of the time know I know the most.
Right.
And they are not open to that there is another perspective to whatever you are thinking.
Right.
And they are the ones who take the bigger hit.
Right.
So when you are not open, this is I think the biggest
misconception.
my
your
may be
perspective.
wrong, but that's my perspective.
Absolutely. कबीर जी ऐसा हुआ है कि किसी जूनियर ने आपको कुछ सजेशन दिया हो और वो सजेशन काफ़ी ज़्यादा आपको डीपली इम्पैक्ट किया हो, ऐसे कभी?
Always.
Right.
Always. Deeply impact kiya is only one aspect. In fact, you've been part of the team, so I think we've been having very open discussions about whatever we do. It's not that this is how it is to be done would never come from me. Though I would have a final say for sure, but it will always be something which you know will be logical.
Right.
My only approach is either you convince me or I convince you.
Right.
Right. So and it will be very healthy, logical discussion on whatever we'll discuss, and that will you know help both of us to get clarity about how we want to attempt a thing. Secondly, it will also help the business, the organization, because if all of us are not on same page, you will always have a disjointed efforts. Right. So it's very important. So on many occasions, you know, I take to whatever our people normally suggest me, my teams, my juniors. And it is also today I get a lot of good ideas. And as I mentioned, this generation is very smart. They're very, as I said, very confident. They have such brilliant ideas. So you should be open, and I am absolutely open to pick up their ideas and you know work on those ideas. So it's not that just because it's coming from you, I'm not. So
thank you so much, Gigi, for your time. This has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the Top of the Game podcast. I know I'm taking away a lot from this conversation, and I'm sure everyone watching this has picked up ideas and insights they can apply in their own careers, businesses, and lives. If you enjoyed this episode, do like, share, and subscribe to the Top of the Game podcast. Our goal with this podcast is simple: to bring you conversation with exceptional leaders who are not just at the top of their game, but are generous enough to share lessons, decisions, and experiences that help them get there. Thank you for watching Top of the Game podcast. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep getting to the top of your game. See you in the next episode.